Hey everyone, Matt here. Good afternoon. The stimulus bill has finally been released. We have all the details here, and I've actually spent the last couple hours going through it, condensing all of the information so that I can deliver it to you in this short video. So let's jump right into it and get into the details of the infamous stimulus bill that we've been waiting for so many days. This is the one that was supposed to be released to us back on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, over the weekend. Well, here we are on Monday, December 21st, and it's finally been released just a couple hours ago. So let's jump right into it. But hey, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. And if you're returning, welcome back. Make sure if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. All right, cool. Now that you're subscribed, we can talk about it. So let's talk about stimulus checks first. I know a lot of you want to know, tell us about the stimulus checks. So here you go. I put it first here so we can jump into it. And then after that, we can talk about many other things here, including rental assistance, SNAP benefits, among many other things here in the stimulus bill. All right, first up, stimulus checks. Yes, they are in there. So a lot of us were kind of skeptical. Are stimulus checks going to make it or not? You know, we've been talking about it, but until we saw the final bill, we didn't know would they actually be in there or not, or are they just dangling the carrot like they are so notorious for doing? So anyway, here they are. $166 billion is allocated for direct payments. They call it direct payments. We call them stimulus checks. Same thing. So $166 billion, it breaks down to $600 per adult, $600 for dependents. Same thing. So that's cool. As far as ITIN individuals, unfortunately, ITIN individuals are not included. However, the family members of an ITIN individual are included. So in the CARES Act, there was something in there saying ITIN and family members excluded. However, the family members, if they have a social security number, they are included this time. So if you have a social security number, don't worry about it. You're included. Unfortunately, if you have an ITIN number, you're not included. So sorry to tell you that. As far as adult dependents, again, like I said in my video earlier, unfortunately, I apologize, but adult dependents are not included. There is some language here that makes me a little bit confused. I need to do some more research on this to figure this one out. When it comes to ITIN and families, it says retroactive to CARES. Retroactive to CARES. I'm not really sure what that means. It makes me wonder, do these people and families go back and get their first stimulus checks that they did not get from the CARES Act? I need to do more research on that before I talk about it too much, but that's interesting language. I'm not really sure what they mean by that. So let's get into other details here. Next, what else do they have? $120 billion allocated for unemployment benefits. So this would be for the extension of the unemployment benefits at the state level, and for those people who are self-employed, the PUA, PUC benefits extended from the week after Christmas, so starting the 27th after Christmas to March 14th. So not quite as long as we were anticipating, but there's a few weeks built in there. So yeah, until March 14th is in there. So yes, self-employed individuals, you will still get this PUA, PUC, and then at a rate of $300 per week going forward with that federal boost. The federal boost is that $300. So we also have small business funding in here, funding money for small business at a rate of $325 billion. That's going to break down to $284 billion for another round of PPP. That's the Payroll Protection Program for small business. There's $20 billion allocated in there for businesses in low-income areas. There's another $15 billion in there allocated for live venues, museums, and theaters. So that one's in there. That's interesting. But good at the same time. That's good. I'm not saying it's not. There's $45 billion in there for transportation. Of course, this breaks down across many different categories. $15 billion in there for airlines, provided they get their employees back to work, things like that. Of course, there's a bunch of other allocations in there for transportation, but yeah, we'll just leave it at that. $69 billion in there for testing, tracing, and treatment. Vaccines, that's in there. There's also money in there. Oh, let's talk about this. Rental assistance. Let's talk about rental assistance for a minute. There's $25 billion in there for rental assistance. This is what we anticipated. This is what we've been talking about for the last couple of days now. But you never know until you see the final bill. You never know what's actually going to be in there and what the final numbers are going to be until you see the final bill. But yes, here it is. The $25 billion for rental assistance is in here. So how is this going to work? This is actually a little bit interesting how they're actually going to distribute this $25 billion. What it sounds like they're going to do is they're going to take this $25 billion and send it out to the states. And then the states will be the ones who actually distribute it to the necessary people who are eligible to receive it. Now, the one huge hurdle with this $25 billion for rental assistance is that when it goes out to the states, with all the states, there's probably going to be a handful of different rules and eligibility requirements in every state. So what happens in one state probably isn't going to be the same rules and eligibility requirements for the next state. So that's going to make it really difficult. So basically what I'm saying is we're going to have to watch this one very, very closely so that as soon as we get additional information on this as far as how our state's going to determine if a person or a family or a household is eligible to get their little slice of the pie of this $25 billion, we'll need to watch that closely because this $25 billion is going to go fast. And it's like sharks out there. I mean, the world is like, it's like sharks out there. So we need to get in there. We need to get our share of the $25 billion as quickly as possible. So I'll watch that closely. As soon as we get information on how you can apply, who might be eligible, how you can get your share, how your little stake of the $25 billion pie, steak and pie, they don't really go together, but you get what I'm saying. How you can get your sliver of the pie. We'll need to watch that one closely so that everybody can get it. I mean, if the money's here, let's grab our share, right? Why not? That's why they have it here. So what's actually cool about this tool too is that there's actually provisions in here that it's going to help with rental assistance for those people who have up to 12 months of rent in arrears. In other words, what that means is if you haven't been able to pay your rent for the last few months, maybe 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, up to 12 months, there is assistance in here to help you pay for that. So basically what would happen is rather than the state sending you let's just say $5,000 to pay for your back due rent, essentially what they would do is the state would issue a check or a payment to the landlord and say, here, this is on the behalf of John. John owes $5,000 in past due rent from the state. The state of New York, the state of New York is issuing John a check of $5,000 on the behalf of John, if that makes sense. So that's how it's going to work. So the money wouldn't actually go to you. It would go directly to the landlord on the behalf of you if you haven't been able to pay your rent. I hope that makes sense. So anyway, the point is we want to get in there and grab our share of the $5,000 so that we can send it to our landlord and say, hey, yo, John, the state is going to send you $5,000 on my behalf. Thank you very much. So I hope all of that makes sense. I hope that example makes sense. Not only that, what's really cool about this too is it also offers rental assistance going forward. So again, if you need assistance going forward paying for your rent, there's some money in there for that too. So again, I'll watch this closely so that we can see who is eligible and so that you can get on it right away so you can apply and get your slice of the pie. Everybody wants some pie right now. I'll take some pecan. What do you want? Pumpkin? Do you want some apple? Actually, apple pie is pretty good too, I have to say. All right, next. What else do I have here? $13 billion. $13 billion is allocated for the nutrition assistance. This is good too, food assistance. For those of you receiving food assistance, otherwise known as SNAP benefits, there's going to be that 15% short-term boost to your benefits going forward. That'll be nice. I know a lot of you are receiving the SNAP benefits, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. You're receiving those benefits, so it's going to be a short-term boost of 15% on your benefits. Again, I actually made a dedicated video about that about a week ago, if you want to check that out. Otherwise, I will be producing and releasing another video talking about this here within the next couple days, so be sure to check that video out as well. But that's cool. Again, another benefit, another little piece of the pie we can grab to help everybody. Hey, you can grab a piece of the pie, so you can go out and grab some pie. You can buy some pie with your slice of the pie. I like that. Oh, that's funny. All right, I'm not laughing at people, by the way. I'm just laughing because I thought I was funny for a second, but I'm really not. But anyway, okay. So I think that's about what I have here. So that's, I kind of boil it all down. Realistically, there's so much more in this bill. There's so much more language. It is thousands and thousands of words. It is so long. And most of the stuff, it's like you read it once and it's like, that didn't even make sense. And you have to read it like 5 times. I mean, for me anyway, that's how I do it. But my point is, I wanted to boil it all down into this short video and just kind of give you everything that relates to the majority of you here on the channel. I think this encompasses the majority of you. A lot of you want to know stimulus checks, rental assistance, and the SNAP benefits. So there you go. Also, as far as those of you receiving Social Security, retirement, disability, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, low income, no income, all of you, yes, you are included in the stimulus checks. If you received the first one, you should be receiving the second one. This one that I'm talking about today, right here, right now, the $600. So I hope that clarifies it. As soon as we get more information, don't worry, I got your back. I'll be back and I will continue to keep you updated. So I hope this helps you out. Enjoy the rest of your day. You'll probably see me one more time today, later today, after we get some voting in the House and the Senate, hopefully a signature from the president, and I'll be back with those updates. So stay tuned, have a nice day, and I'll catch you here in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.